Just seen all the available players have 60 minutes of football. How pleased are you with their progress?
Yeah, it's another good workout. So we've moved it on in terms of getting 60 minutes. Not much of a half-time break, so stretched in that way, and then a bit of running afterwards as well. So we want to build up that exposure now. So players are ready for possible 90s or at least 75 plus from the next game.
How much are you starting to see maybe the little tweaks and quirks that you want to get into the team come into fruition then after the couple of pre-season matches you've had?
Yeah, first few weeks we're all sort of with the ball, and we certainly saw some of that today, which we're pleased with, so we'll keep reinforcing that. But I think the real pleasing bit is the mentality without the ball. We spoke a lot about that last season and we've not really done much on that yet, but there's a real intent from the players to be that same aggressive physical team, if you like. So yeah, I'm looking forward to really building on that.
Of the short-term injuries who weren't involved today, who's available or likely to be available for Scunthorpe?
Yeah, go through the names because I never know. So Reese has been ill, so Reese is recovering. Obviously Robbo played today after being ill. Anel's ill, so Reese and Anel hopefully will be back involved. Reese maybe not, but hopefully. Who else we got?
Doyle maybe.
Tommy's having a scan on his thigh to see the extent of that, and we'll be led by that. So it's like I said, we'll know more when we get that information, but we won't be taking a risk. When muscle injuries, the better when the better. So yeah, Wes is progressing well, so hopefully his calf will be better next week to get him, or even this week to get him involved in training. Yeah, and then we'll obviously assess today. Davo went off with a knock on his knee, so we need to make sure that that's okay as well.
I know there's always that it's only pre-season, but given what's happened to him here, how good is it just to see Rhian Brewster find a bit of goal-scoring touch?
Yeah, there's going to be no pressure on him, to be capable of playing 90 minutes week in, week out, but there's going to be pressure on him to deliver goals and deliver an intensity to his game that we can use, and he knows that and he's working really hard towards that. So yeah, it's good to have him back. He's done more or less all the sessions now. We were looking after him to start with at the beginning, first few weeks, letting him miss afternoons, just building him up slowly. But over the last week or so now, he's done all the volume, same as the rest of the boys. So we're happy with that. We just want to keep building his intensity, like I say, and keep him on the pitch.
To that extent then, I'm trying to sort of remember what's been said in the past, but is he kind of ahead of schedule? I thought the initial thought was he might not make the start of the season.
You can never tell it's always about the rehab and how it goes. But we've not rushed him. He's not been rushed. There was a point towards the end of last season where we thought he may get some training minutes with the under-21s, England and things like that. But because his strength weren't there and his injured hamstring, we just relaxed about that and put the brakes on it. And that's been the same this pre-season until he's getting his strength back at the same time as his fitness. So yeah, I wouldn't say he's ahead of schedule. He's progressing well, so we're happy with that.
Changing tack then to signings, and the player most often discussed recently has been Clark at Newcastle. Is there anything in that? What can you tell us? Is Kieran Clark coming here?
We're looking to do something on loan, yeah. So it's not definite, but hopefully it'll be pretty soon.
Has it got to a stage where it's maybe reached medicals and what have you? Or is it a bit further down not quite as far down the track as that?
No, that's exactly where it's at. So yeah, we're hopeful, but not being presumptuous and not talk about anything that's not happened. We'll wait, but yeah, I'm expecting it.
What? I mean, it's a bit of a daft question. He's had a long career in the Premier League, but what does he add? What do you hope he will bring to this squad?
Yeah, listen, as I say, if we get it done, I'll talk like if we get it done. It'll be for his experience. He's got promotions out of this league. Good in both boxes. And gives us that balance on that left-hand side with Robbo. So, yeah, so it ticks a lot of boxes for us.
How many other kind of plates for incomings are you spinning right now regarding incomings?
Yeah, always loads. But, we'd do well to get him to this stage where we are with Kieran, so we'll just have to keep pushing, keep working and see what we can do.
I mean, you've got Doyle, obviously, and potentially Clark. Would you be looking at any other Premier League loan beyond those two?
Always, yeah, always. Yeah, we'd be foolish not to. And I think I said before, even if I'm here a couple more signings and we're happy with what we've got, because like I said, the squad's taking shape nicely. I think we'd still be looking right up until the death, because if something comes up which we think can improve us, I think everyone agrees, myself, Prince Abdullah, the rest of the people connected with the club, that we'd always look to try and do something.
Because when we spoke before, you were after sort of strengthening 6 or 7 positions, weren't you? It's still kind of midway, aren't we? It's sort of relatively early, but are you kind of relaxed about where the team is?
Yeah, because the squad, you've seen it, so we're using a lot of players from the 23. Some hopefully will make that breakthrough and get into the first team squad and go up the pecking order and be challenging. That's why we want to provide these opportunities. But we still know we need to strengthen. We want people who can really push the senior boys, can go past them. We've got the schedule at the start of the season is unreal. I mean, if we did happen to get past West Brom in that first cup game, we could have 6 games in 15 days. You know, it's incredible how that's panned out. So we're going to need the players. We're going to need the squad, just as we needed it last year. We're certainly going to need it from the start of the season this year.
And given that, and just with regard to some of the emerging players, you know, the likes of Arblaster, it's maybe a chance for them to get out into senior football. Yeah,
so we didn't take Blaster away with us last week. He was struggling with his ankle a little bit, but we like him. We think he's going to be a real good player. And if I was honest, I'd say yeah, he will be a Sheffield United player and get in the first team. When, we'll wait and see. You can see he's still a baby in terms of his physicality, but not in terms of his mentality. He's a very good technical player, but gets the game well. He's brave on the pitch, and he's someone who I think Sheffield United fans will see a lot of in the future.
Since we last spoke, there's been noises about Sander Berger, Werder Bremen, and 2 offers, a bid or a bid to loan to buy type thing. How is that correct? What's the state of play?
No, not correct. We've had nothing. We were speaking before about, you know, it's a big bugbear of mine. Anyone can put whatever they want, wherever they want, and all of a sudden it's fact. Nothing's happened, you know. And that's it.
And has it got to a stage where you've spoken to Sander about what he sees being his future? Does he see himself being here?
Yeah, he's here. He's our player. He knows what I think of him. We will be speaking regular. Well, that's it. But there's no issue. There's nothing. There's no decision to make. There's nothing at all. It's, as I say, someone puts something out and we've got to talk about it, and that's it. That's the only thing that changes.
On other players for whom there's been a question mark, you know, Lowe's come back. Is his circumstances still he's staying?
Yeah, staying. Yeah. There was a bid for Lowe. Yeah, ridiculously low bid. You know, so yeah, it was, you know, a lot less than what we paid for him. So we like the lad. He's gone out on loan, done really well in this league, helped the team get promoted out of this league. That's exactly what we want.
How important that he's come back with kind of the right attitude and knuckle down, whatever his personal thoughts are. He's playing like he wants to career at Sheffield United. Yeah,
and he is. That's a good point, and he's come back really fit. He's done everything that we've asked of him. Obviously, he recovered from a groin injury at the end of last season. He's took the load really well. He's performing well. Yeah, and he's chomping at the bit. You can see it. So we're really pleased where he is. And again, conversations with Max have been around that. The only person who generally suffers if there's any arguing, controversy over futures is the player. One way to do it is just go and play well, and then, you know, people, if they want you, they'll come and get you. Until that point, there's no point in worrying about it.
And just finally, after much talk throughout the back end of last season, there is evidence those pitches are being tended to.
Yeah, so we started work yesterday, so it's going to be a decent process, because it's a big job. It's not just the usual taking the surface off and then reseeding. We spoke about a hell of a lot last year, so those 2 pitches are going to be new Deso pitches. They're going to be level, because I think there's about a 3 metre gradient on it, so they're going to be brought level. New irrigation, new drainage, and undersoil heating. So yeah, we want to. Obviously, we won't get the full benefit of that this season, but by obviously end of October, we want to be on there when the weather's becoming at its worst. And we look at what we suffered with last season. I spoke about the impact of pre-season not being the greatest, the impact of cancellations due to COVID, and how that impacted us, because they're always last minute and change the training programme. And then that coincided with us not being able to train properly on the training pitch. So hopefully, so far pre-season's been going as we want. We've got work on the pitches which will take that out of the way, and touch wood, COVID's not the same sort of problem with cancellations as well, so we can get control over this training programme. And if we can rule those three things out, you know, I'm more than confident we won't have the same amount of injuries. We'll always have injuries, and you know, whether they're impact injuries, whether they're from us pushing players that little bit too hard, that's his job. We'll always have injuries, but I don't think we'll have the ridiculous amount that we just couldn't seem to get control of last year.